go ahead and get started here. Welcome to the December 5th, 2024 Seminole County Code Enforcement Board meeting. I'd like to start by taking the roll call. Madam Clerk, if you could do that for us. Here.
Catherine Townsend.
Here.
Mike Sinan.
Here.
Dudley Bates, not present. Craig Davis.
Here.
Vice Chair Kevin Ross Andino.
Here.
Don Peterson.
Here.
And Yvette Brown.
Here.
Thank you. Welcome, Don. Haven't seen you for a while. Welcome back here, sir. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and then I'm going to read some things and talk for just a moment, and we'll get started. But please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If you're going to be speaking today, anybody in the audience, if you please remain standing, raise your right hand so the clerk here can swear you in.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, the agenda, normally we make a few changes here. I'm not sure if the changes will be warranted by the board today. The first respondent has 8 cases. We were going to move that around, but since then we've got, there's another respondent that has 3 cases, another one that has 2, another one has 1. So my thought is just to go in the normal order. We would begin with the one that has 8. I was going to put that one at the end, but it really doesn't really seem to matter at this point. Everybody okay with that?
Agree.
Okay. Then if there's no objections, we'll just go with the order that we have at this time. And the respondents that are here, the way we'll take them is item number 1 through 8. That respondent is Phyllis L. Scott. And I'll read all those case numbers when we get to them individually. And that would be followed by case number 9, Miguel Leon Air Maria I. Leon Miguel A. Leon, followed by the respondent that has 3 cases. That would be items 10, 11, 12. Respondent is Property Scholars Investment Group, LLC, and looks like SBC Startups Resourcing and Enterprises, LLC. And that would be followed by items number 14 and 15, Edward Serapin and Frankel Yenny Lowe on both of those cases. And that's the order we will go in. After we do those, then all the folks that aren't here, we will, and the lien request and everything else we'll do separately. So I guess I don't need a motion since it's the order we have. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and read something into the record, folks, for you all that are here today and anyone else. Just give me one moment. Good afternoon, and again, welcome to the December 5th, 2024 hearing of the Seminole County Code Enforcement Board. Before we begin, I'd like to advise everyone about the procedures that govern appearances before the Code Enforcement Board. This meeting is open to the public under Florida's government in the Sunshine Law. Therefore, every effort will be made to hear all persons having relevant evidence or argument to offer. It is required that every person who appears before the Code Enforcement Board needs to be registered with the clerk. The cases where the respondents are present and signed in will be heard first. You will be sworn in or affirmed by the clerk. Once all cases where the respondents are present have been heard, the Code Enforcement Board will hear the remaining cases as they appear on the agenda. When your case is called, please be seated at the table reserved for respondents. The county will present their case, and the respondents will be allowed to present their case. Additionally, please limit your comments to only information relating to this case. Each party may question witnesses offered on behalf of the other party. Additionally, staff members may question those appearing before the Code Enforcement Board. The board will then make their decision based on the evidence and the testimony presented by both parties. All proceedings before the Code Enforcement Board are electronically recorded. Please speak directly into the microphone at the center of the table and state your name clearly before presenting your case. Should you need assistance due to a hearing impairment or language barrier, please inform the clerk upon registration. All cell phones and other electronic devices are to be turned off or silenced while inside the chambers. Thank you for your cooperation. If everybody understands that, pretty simple, basic. It is what it is. We'll call you up when we call your case up. Has everybody been sworn in and registered who has a case here today? Thank you so much. So if there's nothing else, we'll begin with case number, and be item number 1, case number 24-79, CEB Phyllis L. Scott. And there will be several to follow that one. So whoever's here for the Phyllis L. Scott case, if you could please come up to this table here.
Chairman, if I could, while they're coming up, there are 5 of these have one parcel number, and 5 of these, or 3 of these have a different parcel number.
Okay.
Is it okay if I ask if these 2 properties are adjacent to each other?
Yeah, the officer.
Yeah, they're 1810 and 1820. They're right next to each other.
Thank you.
Thanks. Once y'all get comfortable there, if you can, sir, we'll start with you. Your name, please.
I'm Robert L. Scott, Jr.
Okay, and your relationship to this case?
I'm the son
Okay,
of Mr. and Mrs. Scott.
thank you. And we have on your left,
Phyllis L. Scott,
and you're the owner, Ms. Scott?
yes.
Okay. Okay, we're, Officer Henson, you're ready. Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Code Enforcement Officer Shannon Henson, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, Code Enforcement North Region. For the record, I'm going to submit a copy of the presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. This case is 2479-CEB, Phyllis L. Scott. The property, the parcel number, the property's at Halsey Avenue and Douglas Street. The violation charge is Seminole County Code Chapter 95, Section 95.4, defined in the Section 95.3A as rubbish. My first inspection was October 31st, 2023. My notices of respondents was 11/14/2023 and April 2nd, 2024. The compliance dates were December 1st, 2023, April 17th, 2024. I did follow-up inspections. The last one was today, and the result of the inspection was the violation of rubbish remains on the property. These were taken on my first inspection. This was December 11th, 2023, and February 15th, 2024. April 3rd, 2024, May 15th, 2024, May 30th, 2024, June 25th, 2024, August 1st, 2024, November 1st, 2024, and this is when I posted the property for the hearing, was 11/21/2024, and this was today, December 5th, the 24th. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer is based on the testimony and evidence presented in the case number 24-79-CEB. It is determined that the respondent is Phyllis L. Scott, the owner of record of the property located at Halsey Avenue and Douglas Street, located in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser records. They're in possession or control of the property and is in violation of Seminole County Code Chapter 95, 95.4 is defined in 95.3A. And it's further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondent to correct the violation or be on or before midnight of December 19th, 2024. In order to remove the violation, the respondent must remove all the rubbish from the property. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $100 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact the code enforcement officer, myself, Shannon Henson, and for a follow-up inspection to verify compliance. This completes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions from the board for Officer Henson?
Officer, could we see the June slide, June of '24 slide, please? Yes. Can you tell me what that is on the photograph that would be on your left? It looks like some type of heavy equipment.
Yes, there's multiple different items that there's been some tractors, like Caterpillar tractors. There's been some U-Haul beds, and a lot has been removed actually. And then sometimes it's moved to different spots depending on what parcel it's on.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, for Mrs. Scott and your witness, Mr. Scott, this is your opportunity to speak to these violations that we're addressing right now. Keep in mind, we're here, there's multiple cases. Each separate violation is heard separately. So this is the one that we just saw. So then we'll go into the other ones. But this is your opportunity to speak to what we just saw on the board up there.
I want to just speak as a whole. Is I'm sure all the violations are in relation to all the property.
You're welcome to, sir.
My father's 80 years old. He's finally come to the conclusion that he's got to get rid of this stuff. The issue we're having is as we're cleaning it up, we might take 3, 4, 5 days because we have to adjust our schedule to accommodate helping him. And the grass grows back up, and we're trying to get rid of the tires. We're accumulating tires as we're cleaning up the property. We was wondering if there's any way that we can be accommodated with some type of removal of the tires, helping us remove the tires.
But we don't have the
At the
wherewithal
county,
to
they
do that.
don't, because I know at one time they accommodated the town with dumpsters to get rid of the tires, old tires.
That's beyond this board's control,
I got
though.
you.
Just so you know, we're here to decide whether or not there's a violation or violations and what the remedy's going to be. So that's really all the authority we have. I'm glad that you're sort of moving forward in that direction, but we can't help with that.
I mean, I know the cases, she's been bearing with us with cleaning it up, but it's just, pretty time consuming with adjusting our schedules to help him out.
The problem is you're running the time. Yeah, we're here to put a date on it, a fixed by date. And that's what we're going to decide today on each one of these. And this started back, it looks like October 2023. So that's what we're here for. When can you get this done? Speaking as to the first case right now, the rubbish.
And we're trying to get rid of, it's hard trying to get rid of that. He has 3 pieces of equipment, and that's the main issue is the equipment. But as far as the other stuff, we should be able to get rid of it by the end of the year. The small things, but as far as the equipment, we're trying to find a way to get rid of that. And the tires. Pretty much the tires and the equipment is our main problem.
The recommendation that this board has at this moment to consider is it needs to be done by December 19th.
I understand.
Were you asking for something different?
I
If
need
you
an
are,
extension on that if you could, if possible.
these folks will decide here. What is it you're asking for?
I mean, Mom, what you think?
Well, let me ask you a question. You say "we." Who's "we"? You and your father? You and your
that's
sibling?
my father back there, yes.
But, excuse me,
But this is the boss lady.
but my brother-in-law is the
Along with
one
his
been
brother
helping us
also has been
because
helping us.
he had the equipment in the dump truck to do it, and he helps us in his spare time. But what slowed up the progress, he fell before the holidays, injured his head. So he wasn't able to, after the hurricane, to do anything.
And he doesn't want anyone's out there if he's not.
And he doesn't let anybody else run his equipment. So we basically are working in between him. Because if we try to find someone and, you know, tell them that they can move the stuff, they might move it and leave everything, just take what they want and leave everything else in a mess. So that wouldn't help us at all.
If I could ask the officer here, and you, if we could have the officer respond first, is the equipment that they're referring to this a part of this specific violation that we're talking about?
It's part of another violation for inoperable vehicles.
Okay. So let me go back to you then. You believe that you can get the smaller things by the end of the year, the equipment that we're going to hear about in a later incident is going to take longer, that's what you're saying?
Yes, and once we move the stuff, the rubbish out, we're gonna move that inside on the property, so it won't be outside our line. Or won't even be noticeable, maybe, if we can get it inside the property.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. You want to do what?
Get the equipment is on the outside, we're trying to
The outside of what?
on the street.
But we're going to have to keep moving along. So focus on the small stuff for this case, and then you'll hear a little bit more about the equipment. So on this case, he's saying he believes he can do it by the end of the year, so maybe a little more time than December 19th.
So for this particular violation that we're dealing with now, I'd like to move that we give the respondent until December 31st in order to comply with this. And then if it is not done by that point, then a $100 fine would be imposed for each day that the violation continues or is repeated.
I appreciate that, but I can't second that, and I would say that considering that we're going into 14 months of this, I think there's been enough adjustment of schedule to that. I would hold to the December 19th date.
We have a motion by Mr. Simon to accept this recommendation, how we're moving the compliance date to which?
To December 31st. Give them an
December
extra 12 days, that would be.
31st. Any further discussion on that or a second? We've heard.
I'll second that,
Okay.
Which one?
his motion.
Which would give them until December 31st.
31st, move the compliance to the 31st, or $100 a day fine. Any other discussion? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, motion passes. And moving to the next case, which is case number 24-8 CEB, Phyllis Scott, Douglas Scott, Sanford Street, 32771. And if I didn't read the first case, it's the same.
You didn't.
Okay. Officer Henson, whenever you're ready.
Code Enforcement Officer Shannon Hinson, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, North Region. For the record, I'm submitting a copy of this presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. This case number is 24-80 CEB, respondent Phyllis L. Scott. The property is located on Halsey Avenue and Douglas Street. The violation charge is Seminole County Code Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as described in 95.3B, uncultivated vegetation. I first initially inspected this property October 31st, 2023, with a notice of violation, notice of respondent on November 14th, 2023, and April 2nd, 2024, with compliance dates of December 1st, 2023, and April 17th, 2024. I did follow-up inspections, including today, December 5th, 2024. The result of the follow-up inspection, the uncultivated vegetation violation remains on the subject property. These pictures were taken October 31st, 2023, my first inspection. December 11th, 2023. December 11th, 2023. February 15th, 2024. April 3rd, 2024. May 30th, 2024, June 25th, 2024, August 1st, 2024, November 1st, 2024, November 21st, 2024, when I posted the property for hearing, and today, December 5th, 2024. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer is based on the testimony and evidence presented in the case number 24-80 CEB. It is determined that the respondent, Phyllis L. Scott, is the owner of record of the property located at Halsey Avenue and Douglas Street, located in Seminole County, determined by the property appraiser records, and is in possession or control of the property. His end is in violation of Seminole County Code Chapter 95, 95.4, as defined in 95.3B. And it is further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondent to correct the violation on or before midnight of December 19, 2024. In order to correct the violation, the respondent must remove the uncultivated vegetation in excess of 8 inches in height. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact myself to make arrangements for inspection when the property is in compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for Officer Henson?
Yeah, Officer Henson, can you go back to today's photo, please? I'm assuming, just if you could get me up to speed, that you have spoken with them about what it's going to take to get this particular overgrown into compliance, and can you just explain to me what more has to be done?
Yes, well, this one here's the pictures for the vegetation, even though it has other items in it, but we have discussed multiple times. It's just, the reason I gave them a little longer time is because they have had illnesses, and so this here, they have cut the grass, and then of course it comes back. So this is vegetation in this picture.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I don't have a question, I have a request. I think the answer is going to be the same thing to every one of these. Why don't we just listen to them all and give them the same compliance date instead of, I mean, I think it's kind of redundant to give, or if we're going to do 6 different compliance dates, that's going to be almost impossible for them to figure it out. I mean, we're going to have to be consistent in compliance dates. So that, I mean, we can do them one by one, but I don't think the answers are going to be any different. They're going to need to the end of the year.
Well, I mean, they've already made it clear that they won't, when we get to the one
Right.
with the larger items, that they won't be able to comply.
Right.
To keep the record clean, do it like this,
Okay.
okay? Just keep the cases moving along, but to
Okay.
keep the records clear, I think you need to kind of address individuals.
Okay.
So-
I'll move that they be given until the 31st to
Well,
review.
no,
gotta hear
they
them.
need
I'm
to,
sorry,
they need to
I'm
talk
sorry.
first.
Okay, this is, again, an opportunity for you to speak if you have anything you'd like to offer. The recommendation, again, is December 19th on this particular violation, which is the vegetation over 8 inches. It would be $50 a day for violations beyond that point. That's where we're at. That's what we're considering.
This is just keeping the grass down, overgrown.
The officer can explain, but that's my understanding.
We can get that under control by the 19th.
Okay, nothing else to offer? Okay. Is there a motion, again, the recommendation by December 19th, or in this particular violation, $50 a day fine?
I'll move that we accept staff's recommendation. They say they can get it done by the 19th.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion to accept staff's recommendation as presented, second, motion by Mr. Simon, second by Ms. Townsend. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, December 19th is the date on that one. Moving to the next violation, which is item number 3 on the agenda, case number 24-81 CEB. Same respondent, same address. Officer Henson.
Code Enforcement Officer Shannon Henson, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, Code Enforcement North Region. I'm submitting a copy for the presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. This case is 24-81 CEB, respondent Phyllis L. Scott. The property is located on Halsey Avenue and Douglas Street. The violation charged is Seminole County Code Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as determined in 95.3E, abandoned or junked vehicles. My first inspection was October 31st, 2023. The first notice of respondent was November 14th, 2023, and the second one was April 2nd, 2024, with compliance dates of December 1st, 2023, and April 17th, 2024. I did multiple inspections. The last one was December 5th, 2024. The results following of the follow-up inspection, the violation of abandoned or junk vehicles remains on the property. This photo was taken October 31st, 2023, December 11th, 2023, February 15th, 2024, April 3rd, 2024, May 15th, 2024, May 30th, 2024, June 25th, 2024, August 1st, 2024, November 1st, 2024, and this is my posting of a hearing was on November 21st, 2024, and this was taken today, December 5th, 2024. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer based on testimony and evidence presented in case number 24-81 CEB, it is determined that the respondent Phyllis L. Scott is the owner of record of the property located at Halsey Avenue and Douglas Street, located in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's record. She's in possession or control of the property and is in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, 95.4, as defined in 95.3E. And it's further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondent to correct the violation on or before midnight of December 19th, 2024. In order to correct this violation, the respondent must remove inoperable vehicles from the property. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $100 will be imposed each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact myself when the property is in compliance to verify. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for Officer Henson?
Yeah, Officer Henson, is there only one vehicle that's currently causing this violation? I saw in the photo from today. Is that the only one, or are there still other vehicles currently on the property that are a violation?
There's another.
But that one's the one that's helping us clean it up. That one's
Operable?
operating,
Okay,
yeah.
there's one other one that's partially apart, and it looks like they've moved it a little bit, but it's still one on that property. There's one on the other property still.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, again, this is your opportunity to speak to this particular violation.
Can we get to the 31st on this one as well?
Okay, the request, is that all you're requesting?
Extension to the end of the year
Okay.
instead of the 19th, if you
It's
would,
being requested
please.
that the compliance date be extended to the 31st.
I'm happy to move that we give them until the 31st. At that point, we would impose a fine of $100 per day.
Is there a second on this?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Simon, second by Mr. Peterson to accept staff's recommendation as presented, however, extending the compliance date to December 31st. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries with one nay. And moving on to the next one, it's item 4 on the agenda, case number 24-83 CEB. Same respondent, however, this address, my understanding is adjacent, it's a different parcel ID, but it's right next door. If that's not correct, please correct me. And Officer Henson, whenever you're ready.
Code Enforcement Officer Shannon Henson, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, Code Enforcement. For the record, I am submitting a copy of this presentation to the clerks as Exhibit 1. This case number is 24-38-CEB. The respondent is Phyllis L. Scott.
24-83, I'm sorry about this. 24-83, so you said 38.
24-83 CEB.
Sorry.
And this is the other property. It's located on Halsey Avenue in Douglas also. The violation charge, Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, 95.4, as defined in 95.3E, abandoned or junked vehicles. My initial inspection was October 31st, 2023, with a notice of respondent for November 14th, 2023. The second one was April 2nd, 2024, with compliance dates of December 1st, 2023, and April 17th, 2024. I did multiple follow-up inspections. The last one was today. Upon that follow-up inspection, the violation of abandoned vehicles remains on the property. This one was taken October 31st, 2023, December 11th, 2023, February 15th, 2024, April 3rd, 2024, May 15th, 2024, May 30th, 2024, June 25th, 2024, August 1st, 2024, November 1st, 2024, and the same was taken today, December 5th, 2024. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer is, based on the testimony and evidence presented in the case number 24-83 CEB, it is determined that the respondent, Phyllis L. Scott, the owner of record of property located at Halsey Avenue in Douglas, located in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser record, is in possession of the property, possession or control of the property, and is in violation of Seminole County Code Chapter 95, 95.4, as defined in 95.3E. And it's further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board issue a record for the respondent to correct the violation on or before midnight of December 19th, 2024. In order to correct the violation, the respondent must remove the inoperable vehicles from the property. If the respondent does not remove with the order, does not comply with the order, a fine of $100 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondents must contact myself for a follow-up inspection to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. And if anyone has any questions for Officer Henson, and just as a reminder, same type of violation as the last one, abandoned vehicles, just on a different property. They own both of them, so it's a separate violation. Anyone has any questions for Officer Henson? Seeing none. Sir, that you saw the presentation, this is the vehicles on the
So now,
agenda.
do we need to just get that truck off of that corner, or, because that's a working truck, it's just, we don't have a tag on it at the moment. So do we need to just get it off that corner, or what's
Officer Henson, can
allowed
you
as
help
far as that goes, that vehicle? Because we've got all of them except for that one that's still on the corner.
To me, that one looked inoperable, and it's never been shown to me that it wasn't. Also, it could be another violation because you're not supposed to store items on an empty parcel, a vacant parcel.
Okay, so. it would
So
have
it's supposed to be, if there's a house or permanent structure, it could be stored there if it's operable.
I got you, okay. So
The-
we'll get it moved, I guess.
Officer Henson, am I mistaken in, it appears that the vehicle's parked in the exact same spot in all the photos? Thank you. Is there a reason why that this one appears in the exact same spot in all the photos?
Well, we've got rid of all of them, and we just haven't figured out what we're gonna exactly do with it yet, sell it, junk it, or my father hasn't made his mind up exactly what he wants to do with it. So I was wondering if we could just we need to get it off the corner until, he figures out what exactly he wants to do with it, if it was a problem with it being on that corner, outside on the road.
Officer Henson, so if he thinks he's going to put a tag on it, in your opinion, that's not going to solve the problem?
No. There's a violation. You're not supposed to store anything on empty parcels. So I could have just done, I suppose, one blanket one for no storage on empty parcels.
I got you. We'll get it taken care of.
All right, by the 19th?
31st.
All right, so he's requesting the 31st on this one also.
Move that we accept staff's recommendation of a $100 fine and extending the date to December 31st for compliance.
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Mr. Simon, second by Mr. Ross, to accept staff's recommendation to have removing the compliance date until December 31st, or $100 a day fine will be imposed. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion passes. Item number 5 on the agenda, it's case number 24-84, CEB, Phyllis L. Scott, same parcel ID as this previous one we just heard. And Officer Henson, whenever you're ready.
Code Enforcement Officer Shanna Henson, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, Code Enforcement, North Region. Submitting a copy of my presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. This case number is 24-84 CEB, the respondent Phyllis L. Scott. The property is located on Halsey Avenue and Douglas Street. The violation charge is Seminole County Code Chapter 95, 95.4, defined in Section 95.3A, rubbish. The first inspection was done October 31st, 2023, with notice to the respondent November 14th, 2023, and April 2nd, 2024. The compliance dates were December 1st, 2023, and April 17th, 2024. I did multiple follow-up inspections, including today, December 5th, 2024, and the result of the follow-up inspection, the violation of rubbish remains on the property. This picture was taken October 31st, 2023. This one is December 11th, 2023, February 15th, 2024, April 3rd, 2024, then May 15th, 2024, May 30th, 2024, June 25th, 2024, August 1st, 2024, November 1st, 2024, December 5th, 2024. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer is based on the testimony and evidence presented in the case 24-84-CEB. It is determined that the respondent, Phyllis L. Scott, is the owner of record of the property located at Halsey Avenue and Douglas Street, located in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's record, and is in possession or control of the property, and is in violation of Seminole County Code Chapter 95, 95.4, as defined in 95.3A. And it is further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondents to correct the violation on or before midnight of December 19th, 2024. In order to correct the violation, the respondent must remove the rubbish from the property. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $100 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact myself for follow-up inspection to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for Officer Henson? Seeing none, sir, this is your opportunity to speak to this. Again, same recommendations to be made.
We can
This
get
is
the
rubbish on
31st
this.
on this one as well.
I'm sorry,
Get
sir.
extension to the 31st
Okay.
on this one.
The request is for extending the time to the 31st of December.
I'll move that we accept staff's recommendation, a fine of $100 per day, extending that deadline until December 31st.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Simon, second by Mr. Ross, that we accept staff's recommendation as presented, however, extending the deadline to December 31st, or $100 a day fine will be imposed. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. Moves us to item number 6, case number 24-85 CEB, Phyllis Scott. Same address and parcel ID as the one we just heard. Officer Henson, whenever you're ready.
Code Enforcement Officer Shannon Henson, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, North Region. For the record, I'm submitting a copy of this presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. This case number is 24-85-CEB. Respondent is Phyllis L. Scott. This property is located at Halsey Avenue and Douglas Street in Seminole County, Florida. The violation charge is Seminole County Code Chapter 95, 95.4, as defined in 95.3B, uncultivated vegetation. My first inspection was October 31st, 2023. Notice to respondent was November 14th, 2023, and April 2nd, 2024. The compliance dates were December 1st, 2023, and April 14th, 2024, with follow-up inspections, and the last one was today, December 5th, 2024. The result of the follow-up inspection, the uncultivated vegetation remains on the subject property. This picture was taken October 31st, 2023. This one was taken April 3rd, 2024. This one was taken May 30th, 2024. This was taken June 25th, 2024. These were taken August 1st, 2024. These were taken November 1st, 2024. And this was taken on my posting on November 21st, 2024. And this was taken today, December 5th, 2024. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 24-85 CEB is determined that the respondent Phyllis L. Scott is the owner of property located at Halsey Avenue and Douglas Street, located in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's record, and is in possession or control of the property and is in violation of Seminole County Code Chapter 95, 95.4, as determined in 95.3B. And is further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondent to correct the violation on or before midnight of December 19, 2024. In order to correct the violation, the respondent must remove the uncultivated vegetation in excess of 8 inches in height. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact myself for follow-up inspection when the property is in compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for Officer Henson?
I just have one. I know we were doing these individually, but I'm going to ask it anyway. We have these ping-ponging deadlines on it. Isn't that going to impose an extra burden on your office and on the county to go there twice to check different things at different dates?
No, all of them were the same time I would visit. Sometimes I would just wouldn't see something, or it'd be behind something, and I wouldn't get the proper picture, so
Well, no,
to depict it there.
I mean, going forward, we have some on the 19th, some on the 31st. Are you going to be, and would you have to go back twice for these, since the dates are different on different ones, are you going to have to go back to the property to make sure the 19th things are done by the 19th, and then again on the 31st to make sure the 31st things are done by the 31st?
Right, they would, if you've seen other pictures, some of the violation would be removed, so.
I think there was one that was different.
Yeah, the mowing is the one that, so here we are again at the mowing.
Yeah, the
and
mowing, it's the same with the 19th. We can take care of the mowing part. That's not a problem.
Oh, no, that's not a problem.
Okay.
I'm in those areas a lot, so.
Okay.
Okay, I gotcha.
Any other questions? Folks, I'm assuming it's the same request?
Yeah.
Okay.
The 8 inches is, we can get a hold on that.
This one he can,
Okay.
move that we accept staff's recommendation with a compliance date of the 19th, and if that is not done, a fine of $50 per day.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Simon, second by Ms. Townsend, to accept staff's recommendation as presented. That would be the deadline of December 19th, or $50 per day would be the fine imposed. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and it brings us, well, no.
I abstained from voting on it.
Okay.
I didn't vote against it or for it.
Okay, one abstention. Where am I here? One moment. Okay, item number 7, that's case number 24-89 CEB, same respondent, same parcel ID and address as the last one. Officer Henson, whenever you're ready.
Code Enforcement Officer Shannon Henson, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, North Region. For the record, I'm submitting a copy of the presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. This case number is 24-89-CEB. This property is located at Halsey Avenue and Douglas Street, Seminole County, Florida. The violation charged is Seminole County Land Development Code, Chapter 30, Part 14, Section 30.14-19I. Is that I or L? I. Sorry. All fences shall be maintained in their original upright condition. Its initial inspection was October 31st, 2023, with a notice to the respondent November 14th, 2023, and April 2nd, 2024, with compliance dates of December 1st, 2023, and April 17th, 2024, with follow-up inspections. The last one was today, December 5th, 2024. The result of the inspection, the fence violation remains on property. This one was taken October 31st, 2023. This one was taken April 3rd, 2024. This was May 15th, 2024. This one was June 25th, 2024. This one was August 1st, 2024. This was November 1st, 2024. And this was on my posting on November 21st, 2024. and this was today, December 5th, 2024. The suggested recommendation by a code enforcement officer is based on the testimony of evidence presented in the case number 2498 CEB. It is determined that the respondent, Phyllis L. Scott, is the owner of record of the property located at Halsey Avenue and Douglas Street, located in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's record, and is in possession or control of the property and is in violation of Seminole County Land Development Code, Chapter 30, Part 14, Section 30.14.19 I. And it is further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondent to correct the violation on or before midnight of December 19th, 2024. In order to correct the violation, the respondent must repair or remove the fence to its original upright condition. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact myself for a follow-up inspection to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Questions for Officer Henson?
Yeah, Officer, can you just walk me through that last photo from today? Because it's really clear in the first photos. I'm having a difficult time seeing.
There's an extra tire and a cone, and the fence is behind there, and the grass has grown up again.
But the fence is not in an upright position there, or?
It's leaning, and part of it's down and up, just all the way up and down. So.
Thank you.
We'll fix that. I know what she's talking about.
Any other questions for Officer Henson? Okay, sir or ma'am, this is your opportunity.
Each on the mic.
The 19th is fine for that one. We'll fix that.
Okay. So they have no objection to the recommendation?
Does he need a permit to fix it?
If he removes it, he does not need a permit. Right?
Say that again.
On a vacant parcel, he shouldn't need, there shouldn't be a fence at all.
So it has to
So
be
we need to
removed, not
remove the
fixed.
entire fence in
Yes.
its entirety. You hear that, there? Mr. Scott? He needs to understand that, because he,
I would
Okay.
check with the building department. They can give you more clear definition of what permit you would need for that
okay,
parcel.
all right.
When you determine,
Can we get that by the 31st, the removal of the fencing? I thought we were just gonna be able to fix it, but then we gotta remove it, if we can get an extension to the 31st as well.
it's requested moving compliance date to the 31st.
I'll move that we accept staff's recommendation of fine of $50 a day with a compliance date of December 31st.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mr. Sine, second by Mr. Ross to accept status recommendation. However, moving the compliance to December 31st, or the same, be $50 a day fine imposed after that date. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. You've got to December 31st on that one. And I believe the last one we have for you today is item number 8. Case number 24-90 CEB, same respondent. We're back to the first address on this particular violation. And the parcel ID, if you want, it's in the book, in the agenda. Officer Henson, whenever you're ready.
Code Enforcement Officer Shannon Henson, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, North Region. I'm submitting a copy of this presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. The case number is 24-90 CEB. Respondent is Phyllis L. Scott. This property is located at Halsey Avenue and Douglas Street in Seminole County, Florida. The violation charged Seminole County Land Development Code, Chapter 30, Part 14, Section 30.14.19L. All fences shall be maintained in their upright or original condition. Our initial inspection was October 31st, 2023. Notice to respondent was November 14th, 2023, and April 2nd, 2024, with compliance dates of December 1st, 2023, and April 7th, 2024. Multiple inspections. I followed up with multiple inspections. The last one was today, December 5th, 2024. With the result of the follow-up inspection, the fence is in violation, and the fence violation remains on the property. This one was taken October 31st, 2023, April 3rd, 2024, May 15th, 2024, June 25th, 2024, August 1st, 2024, November 1st, 2024. This was supposed to be November 21st, 2024, when I posted the property. And this was taken today, December 5th, 2024. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer is based on the testimony and evidence presented in the case number 24-90 CEB. It is determined that the respondent, Phyllis L. Scott, is the owner of record of the property located at Halsey Avenue and Douglas Street, located in Seminole County as determined by the property appraiser's record, in possession or control of the property, and is in violation of Seminole County Land Development Code, Chapter 30, Part 13, Section 30.14.19L. And it is further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondent to correct the violation on or before midnight of December 19th, 2024. In order to correct the violation, the respondent must remove the fence in its original upright condition. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact myself for a follow-up inspection to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Questions, Officer Henson?
So it's a similar issue, it's just the other parcel?
Right.
And there's a structure on that one? Or a house? Because it didn't sound like anybody lives there. So you were treating them different. You said this one, because it's empty, it has a different set of rules.
Neither of those have a permanent structure. There's a house that is adjacent to it. They own 3 parcels there.
Any other questions? This is your opportunity.
This is about the same thing, 31st extension. Please.
Request is to extend the time to the 31st.
I'll move that we accept staff's recommendation of a fine of $50 a day with a compliance date of December 31st.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Simon, second, I think, by Mr. Ross, to accept staff's recommendation. However, moving the compliance date to December 31st, or a fine of $50 per day will be imposed. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries.
All right, you're done.
We are done with you all. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Hope you can take care of that. If I can give you one piece of advice, just know that even if you got all these things done tomorrow, the next time there's a violation, it's not gonna, you're not gonna get all the warnings like you got this time. So just, it
I appreciate the
automatically
grace
kicks in.
period.
Yes, sir. Just be aware of that. It'll
Thanks a
kick in
lot.
right away. Thank you. Next case is item number 9 in the agenda. It's on page 4. Case number 24-74 CEB. It's under continued cases. Miguel Leon Air, Maria Leon, Miguel A. Leon at 1208 Helen Street, Apopka, Florida 32703. And they have one case. Have you all been sworn in?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, and
I don't know.
the name will start to the right of the table. Sir, your name, please?
Ruben Leon.
Ruben Leon. And ma'am, your name?
Esther Michelle Helton, daughter of Miguel Leon.
Oh, you're Miguel. You're the owner?
I'm the daughter of Miguel Leon.
Oh, you're the daughter. Okay, and Miguel's the owner.
Yes.
So you all are
And
family?
this is his brother, yes.
Okay, got it. All right, thank you. Officer Adair, whenever you're ready.
Code Enforcement Officer Cameron Adair, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, South Region. This is case number 24-74-CEB. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm ill prepared. The respondents are Miguel and Maria I. Leon and Miguel A. Leon. Would like to submit a copy of this PowerPoint presentation to the clerk as Exhibit A. The violation is located at 1208 Helen Street in Seminole County, Florida. The violation charge, Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3E, abandoned or junked vehicles.
Are we here on a new case, or is this a lien request?
This is a lien.
Okay.
All my
So-
cases today are lien
All right,
requests.
so we don't need to hear the case again, okay?
Correct.
It's just, all right, so be very careful as to
Okay.
why we're making a presentation. I'm going to kind of just see if this is what's accurate on the agenda. The matter came before the board on August 22nd, and the order was giving the respondent a compliance date of October 21st, 2024. Is that correct?
Correct.
And there was an affidavit of compliance filed by the code enforcement inspector after the reinspection on October 31st, 2024. Is that correct?
Correct.
So the property is currently in compliance?
Correct.
And so it looks like at this point, and I kind of recall their faces, I'm not sure why we continued it. Is there a reason that it was continued?
The October hearing, I was not here, and I think it got, the Hurricane Milton postponed the October hearing, so now we're here.
Okay, so what you're in for right now is that the county is requesting a lien in the amount of $1,000 for 10 days of non-compliance from October 21st, 2024 through and including October 30th, 2024. Is that correct?
Correct.
And so if you look at your agenda, it looks like the administrative costs have also been provided to you. The clerk's administrative costs are $183.73. The code enforcement officer administrative costs are $300.40 for a total administrative cost of $484.13. So the only thing before you today is to decide whether or not you'd like to issue a lien, and if so, what the amount is.
And the other option would be,
To eliminate the fines that have accrued for those 10 days. Just waive it.
This is the case where the grandson was living on the property.
Yes, sir.
I don't,
so the administrative costs really aren't relevant in this, or?
no. This is a case like any other lien request. It was just continued for some reason, and I think you heard some testimony last time as to what the situation was. I don't have any recollection. So you might want to talk to the respondent since they're here again. But yeah, the property was out of compliance for 10 days. It came into compliance. During that 10-day period, a fine accrued. So you would decide whether you want to file the lien for $1,000 or remove it completely, waive it, or reduce it to administrative costs to be paid within a certain amount of time.
Okay, so we're all, okay, hopefully you heard that, folks. That's what we're here for. There's some different options on the table. Obviously, it appears that you were out of compliance for 10 days, so some issues are attached to that. We have to decide what to do. The floor is yours if you'd like to speak to that.
Well, we did everything what Cameron wanted us to do, and we were just hoping if you can just completely take all the liens off, because we have no money to pay. My Social Security pays his housing. My dad's pays for the rent and the utilities and the lights. And he has just a little very income, and he has cancer. And we didn't even know about this until my dad came to live with us. I didn't know all of this was happening. I mean, this is just like a lot thrown at us, and we didn't know. So if you can take all the liens off, that's
Well, a problem is that we didn't know until 8-10 months ago about this situation of the lien, and I came here to represent my brother, and it was impossible for the next meeting after I think it was in April of this year, and then the grandson, TJ, he never showed up, he never took the cars away, anything. By the 17th, I think, I have everything done except for one boat and one more in there. And then came the Milton a hurricane and drop another tree on top of the roof of the house, and where the boat was, and tow truck came and tried to get it out and couldn't get it out. The mud and the thing, it was impossible. So I talked to Mr. Cameron, and I explained, I'm going to try it. And finally, I did it. I can hardly move myself, and I did it myself. I cannot afford to pay nobody to do that.
I have one question for us right there. Any county objection if we were to either apply administrative costs instead of the fine, or if we were to waive them? For any of those options, does the county have a position on any of those?
I can only recommend either administrative cost or we go for the lien. I can't determine fine amounts or waiving them or reducing them.
Okay. So that's what we have. We have 3 options, maybe more, but at least those.
I have a question, just to make sure I understand. Everything is in compliance now?
Yes.
Okay. I would make the motion that we negate the lien and go with the total administrative cost with a 30-day time frame to get it paid.
How much?
Hold on, we're,
The total,
484,
484.13.
484.13.
Okay, we can do
in
that.
fact, I would say 90 days.
40. No,
So 90 days is March 5th.
Yeah.
they're gonna pay the 90 days.
Yeah, okay.
I'll second.
who
Is
seconded?
that everything?
That's
Wait.
484.13.
That's the recommended, let us finish. We're discussing. Okay, motion by Ms. Townsend to apply administrative cost instead of the $1,000 lien.
He seconded.
And second by Mr. Sinan. And if paid within 90 days, did you say, is there,
March 5th.
by March 5th, if paid by March 5th, it resolves this. If it doesn't, it goes back to a lien on the property for $1,000 for that violation. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. That's the motion. And Mr. Sinan, you're good with the, okay, I'm just clarifying it. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Nay by Mr. Ross. Motion passes. That's what's happened. Administrative costs have been applied, 90 days. Please pay it by then, or it goes to the $1,000. And thank you for taking care of that.
And the clerk will let them make payments.
Is that it?
Well,
I don't know.
Let me
there's no
ask you
payment.
something.
All right, so what's that?
Ms.
March
Townsend will give you a
5th,
loan.
March 5th.
Sorry.
And so someone just direct them where they need to make the payment. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
We've been asked to take a quick break. Is that
Yes.
okay?
We have 2 liens, don't we?
Separate cases.
Oh, darn it, did I miss?
Is it on,
we
is it
see
in the
that?
agenda?
one
Do we have that
No,
case?
it's not this month. It's not this month.
Okay. That's all for today, ma'am. If there's something else going, we're unaware of it. You can talk to the officer when you get outside.
Thank you.
to clear it up.
Happy
And
holiday.
You too, thank you. Have a good holiday, and thank you for taking care of that. We're going to take a quick break here, 10 minutes?
So what time do you want to start again?
Ms. Townsend?
10's good.
10 minutes.
2:50?
2:50, we will be back.
Okay.
looks like we're missing somebody. No?
Good.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started again. It's 2:51 PM. Picking up where we left off, I believe will put us on item number 10, which is on page 2, top of page 2. This is a lien request. Case number 24-48 CEB Property Scholars Investment Group LLC and SBC Startups Resourcing and Enterprises LLC. And there will be 2 other cases, the same respondent to follow whenever you're ready to go. Officer Adair?
You said 24-48, correct?
That's, I believe, that's what I
Okay.
have, yeah.
All right.
Yes, come on up.
Sir, your name, please?
Khalil Majid.
And you're the owner?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And you've been sworn in, correct?
I have.
Thank you. Officer Adair, whenever you're ready.
Code Enforcement Officer Cameron Adair, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, South Region. This is case number 24-48-CEB. Respondent is Property Scholars Investment Group LLC. The violation is Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3B, uncultivated vegetation. This case was originally heard by the Code Enforcement Board on July 25th, 2024, and an order was issued giving the respondents a compliance date of August 8th, 2024. An affidavit of noncompliance was filed by the Code Enforcement Officer after reinspection on August 8th, 2024. An affidavit of compliance was filed by the Code Enforcement Officer after reinspection on September 25th, 2024. The administrative costs to process this case for the clerk are $261.35. Administrative costs for the Code Enforcement Officer totaled $308.60. Together, both administrative costs cost $569.95. The recommendation by me is based on the findings of fact and conclusion, law and order. The Code Enforcement Board issue an order constituting a lien in the amount of $2,400 for 48 days of noncompliance from August 9th, 2024 through and including September 24th, 2024 at $50 per day, and the fine shall continue to accrue for $50 per day for each day the violation continues or is repeated after December 5th, 2024. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for Officer Adair? Seeing none. Mr., was it Majid?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. This is your opportunity to speak to that. The recommendation by county is a lien to be applied to the property for $2,400 for the 48 days of noncompliance. It's your opportunity to speak to that. Did we have any questions for Officer Adair?
Do we see photos of the noncompliance from today?
This one's in compliance.
This property is in compliance.
Oh, this
Or
property is
for-
in compliance.
For the violation of vegetation, it's in compliance.
Thank you.
But it was out of compliance for 48 days, which is
Correct.
why we're here. Okay. Sir, again, back to you. This is your opportunity to speak to that.
Probably guilty as charged, but if I could get some relief on the lien amount, just a lot of financial difficulty over the past probably 18 months now. So just been trying to do this the best as I can on keeping these properties up to par.
So your request to the board would be what, sir?
Because I'm pretty sure we gotta, it's some more. And that's why I say I was overwhelmed. Had I opened the mail, it was just a lot of stuff coming in the mail at the time. And I would have tried to correct it before the fines started accruing daily, but was just overwhelmed and just having some health issues and just, it was a lot. Still is. But yeah, just some relief on that one. The fine, I know the court cost is, cost truly incurred.
Any specific, he's asking for relief on the amount, the $1,000 fine.
$2,400.
Excuse me, $2,400.
So yeah, like one of these issues, I'm not sure if you see it, but I was behind on the property taxes. So that was going to a tax deed auction. So I did come up with, I think it was like $5,400. So it's just like, just things just keep coming, and to get this house demoed and to stay on top of it. This is just one of several properties I have in 4 different counties, and it's just been a series of just financial difficulty. The storm didn't help. Nothing's been helping.
It is in compliance now. Admin costs were cited, which were $569.59, I think. 95 cents. Okay. County's request is $2,400 lien. So again, more than one way we can go on this.
I'm going to move, just to be consistent, that we do the administrative costs and payable 90 days.
Second.
Thank you.
We have a motion by Mr. Ross, second by Ms. Townsend, to accept staff's recommendation that however, lowering the fines to the $569.95 if paid by 90 days. What?
March 5th.
March 5th, was it? By March 5th, or it reverts back to the $2,400.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's get through this. Okay, all in favor?
Ross moved, Townsend seconded it.
But before we vote, do we have, because we have 2 more of these cases coming forward, can I just ask Officer Adair if this property in compliance in full now for all cases that we're going to be hearing?
No, the next 2 are non-compliant.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Ross made the motion, Ms. Townsend made the second, reducing the amount to the admin cost, $569.95 if paid by March 5th, or it reverts to the $2,400. That's what's on the table. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No?
Motion carries on that particular one. That's what we've done. You understand what we've done there? You got 90, you have until March 5th to pay that, or it goes back to, now hang on, we got 2 more. Item number 11, same page, case number 24-49 CEB, same respondent. Officer Adair, whenever you're ready.
Code Enforcement Officer Cameron Adair, Sonoma County Sheriff's Office, South Region. This is case number 24-49 CEB. The respondent is Property Scholars Investment Group, LLC. The violation is located at 138 Anchor Road, and the violation charge is Sonoma County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in Section 95.3A, rubbish. This case was originally heard by the Code Enforcement Board on July 25th, 2024, and an order was issued giving the respondents a compliance date of August 8th, 2024. An affidavit of noncompliance was filed after reinspection on August 8th, 2024. The recommendation is based on the findings of fact, conclusion of law and order. The Code Enforcement Board issue an order constituting a lien in the amount of $11,900 for 119 days of non-compliance from August 9th, 2024 through and including December 5th, 2024 at $100 per day, and the fine shall continue to accrue at $100 per day for each day the violation continues or is repeated after December 5th, 2024. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for Officer Adair?
Again, we're not going to see the December 5th today photos?
Okay. We normally present them. We're going to pull it up now, but for consistency, was reading from what you guys have in front of you.
We are going to show the photos?
Yeah.
So this is yesterday's inspection, December 4th. You can still see the rubbish, which can, on the left photo, it's shingles. There's a couple piles throughout the property. It's shingles from the roof. And then the right photo, there is a blue shed on the property that's full of debris and rubbish.
Again, it's still not in compliance as of this date.
Officer Adair, has any progress been made on this property since then?
Besides the last case for the grass, no.
Any other questions? Sir, this is your opportunity again. We're here to see that particular violation. We're here to discuss a lien. We're not going to argue the case or hear the case again. However, share with whatever you feel is important for us to make that decision about the lien.
What was this lien amount?
$11,900 for 119 days.
But it'll continue to accrue until the property's in compliance.
What? You say it's a fine? It's a fine for how much?
$11,900 is, yes, where the fine stands today, since the first day they notified you about the violation.
Okay, I think I see what you said. So I'm assuming this one kept going on where the grass one stopped. So it was either from the pictures I was shown, so I'm coming over from Tampa, Florida. So from the pictures I was shown, I thought this rubbish and stuff was bagged up. If I could have some time to try to get that corrected immediately, I will.
The board heard this case, and these fines have already started, and we're sort of at an end process, if you will. So since nothing's been done, the board now has to decide whether or not to apply a lien. And they just simply add the days that it's been out of violation, really.
That doesn't mean you can't continue to work towards compliance. That's the ultimate goal. So you do what you need to do to bring the property into compliance, and once you're in compliance, the inspector can explain to you the next step. All they can decide today is whether to file the lien or not, because the property is still out of compliance. It doesn't stop you from doing what you need to do to come into compliance.
Okay, so, yeah, I would just ask for the lien not to be, if that's what it is, the lien not to be imposed. It's just, again, my mental hasn't been the best, but it's probably a breakdown. You know, some attempt has been made. I guess this one was just overlooked. I believe the third one is tearing the house down. That one I do know, like, you know, my backup is up against the wall for a little bit on that one. But I would assume that this one was taken care of when they went out and cleaned up the property. I'm not sure if that was their fix, putting some of it in the shed, and if some of the shingles is, well, I don't know if that's you hearing the case, but.
So I guess you hired somebody and you just didn't check on it? I mean, how?
I got pictures, so I just went through a little app service because it allowed me to do a credit card, because it's just been cash flow issues. So most yard men is cash. I found the app that allowed me to use a credit card.
I move to accept the staff's recommendation as presented.
But one thing I do want to say is with the liens, I've been kind of anxious, so I have been working on like a portfolio loan to get some cash. So some of these liens and stuff has kind of been hurting me as they get kind of filed and noticed, holding up this loan, because it's like several properties, several counties, so Seminole, Orange, Polk, Hillsborough. So I am trying to get a loan to get this property demolished or take care of all my real estate woes, but in that is tearing this property down to get it in compliance. So even if it's a delay in 11th, I won't have that type of money. And if it shows up, you got to kind of the property is the collateral, so you got to kind of clear it to get the loan.
I understand.
You have a motion on the table.
Motion on the table, Mr. Ross, to accept this recommendation as presented.
Second.
Second by Mr. Davis. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and there is one more case, which will be item number 12, case number 24-63, CEB, same respondent, same address. Officer Adair, whenever you're ready.
All right. Code Enforcement Officer Cameron Adair, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, South Region. This is case number 24-63-CEB. The respondent is Property Scholars Investment Group, LLC. The violation is located at 138 Anchor Road in Castleberry. The violation charge is Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3C. The remains are rubble of a structure. This case was originally heard by the Code Enforcement Board on July 25th, 2024, and an order was issued giving the respondent a compliance date of August 8th, 2024. An affidavit of noncompliance was filed by me after reinspection on August 8th, 2024. The recommendation is based on the findings of fact, conclusion of law and order. The Code Enforcement Board issue an order constituting a lien in the amount of $11,900 for 119 days of noncompliance from August 8th, 2024 through and including December 5th, 2024 at $100 per day, and the fine shall continue to accrue at $100 per day for each day the violation continues or is repeated after December 5th, 2024. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions to Officer Adair? Sir, similar situation, you recited that hasn't been fixed, there hasn't come in compliance, and so that's where we're at. We're here to determine a lien or not. It's your opportunity to speak to that.
I wasn't clear. What happened to the second one?
Second one, there was a lien that was imposed for the amount that we had said.
The
$11,900.
It was imposed?
Yes, sir.
Sheesh. So I'm just asking the same thing. They're saying this is the remains of it's a wood rot to a soffit or fascia.
It's part of the building's falling apart, apparently.
A part of the building.
Is what it looks like by the pictures, yeah. It's rubble.
Yeah, that's where we blocked off the window. I think the vagrant is going in. I do remember closing that window, so it's been times in the past where it was out of compliance and we tried to secure the property, but I believe it's just individuals going back into it. But like I said, I don't have that type of money, so I'm just asking that the fine, had I known about the 25th, I would have came back in the 25th when the case was being heard.
Okay, folks, so again, similar request. He's
Motion to accept staff's recommendation as presented.
motion by Mr. Ross to accept staff's recommendation presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Simon. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That's what we've done, sir. The two later cases that we heard here were, the liens were applied, and the other one we gave you that compliance date that we gave you. I have to go back to my notes and find it.
We reduced it simply to administrative costs.
Thank you. Yes, yes.
To be paid by
90 days or
March
reverts
5th.
back to the original requested amount. Thank you for coming in. Again, the fines are still running on those ones that are not in compliance. I strongly suggest you try to get those in compliance as quick as you can.
All right, you're on.
Is there another
14.
time to hear about a reduction in fines once it is brought into compliance?
You need to talk to the inspector once your property's in compliance. He can explain that to you.
Okay, thank you.
14.
Okay, 14, 15, then back to
Yes.
13. Okay, next case is item 14, same page, case number 24-66, CEB, Edward Seraphin.
Do we not have item 13?
and
No,
thir-
you got respondents present for item 14 and 15 first, and then 13.
Wonderful, thank you.
It's just the order that we're going. Items, excuse me, Edwin Seraphin and Franqueline Lowe.
Okay, I am Franklin Lowe.
Okay,
Okay, Edward Seraphin is my father,
okay.
and he is currently in assisted living. I believe we are compliant at this.
Okay, well, give me, let's, give me
Okay, I'm
one
sorry.
second here, thank you.
Thank you.
So we have Mr. Lowe here, and Officer Adair, yours again, whenever you're ready.
Code Enforcement Officer Cameron Adair, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, South Region. This is case number 24-66-CEB. The respondents are Edwin Seraphin and Franqueline Lowe. The violation is located at 207 Grace Boulevard in Altamont Springs. And the violation charge is Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in Section 95.3B, uncultivated vegetation. This case was originally heard by the Code Enforcement Board on July 25th, 2024, and an order was issued giving the respondents a compliance date of August 8th, 2024. An affidavit of noncompliance was filed by me after reinspection on August 8th, 2024. A follow-up inspection, there was an affidavit of compliance filed by me on September 11th, 2024. The administrative cost to process this case for the clerk totaled $241.47. My administrative cost cost $308.60. The total of both administrative costs equals $550.07. The recommendation is, based on the findings of fact, conclusion, and law and order, the Code Enforcement Board issue an order constituting a lien in the amount of $1,700 for 34 days of noncompliance from August 9th, 2024 through and including September 11th, 2024 at $50 per day, and the fine shall continue to accrue at $50 per day for each day the violation continues or is repeated after December 5th, 2024. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Questions for Officer Adair? Okay, I have a property that is in compliance. The recommendation is $1,700 lien for the 34 days it was out of compliance. Admin costs, if they are to be considered, $550.07. Excuse me, sir, this is your opportunity to offer whatever you'd like to offer.
My father was living in at the property, and I was living in Volusia County. I found out about it the last week of August when I was called by a hospital and found out that he was not there. By stopping at the property, I saw the post. So that's how I found out about it. The vegetation, this is the vegetation, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I have done what I can. I am disabled, and I have been the one working on getting that vegetation up, lessened and up to par. I ask that the lien be waived and be just with administrative costs, because I am currently financially strapped due to my income.
Are you living at the property currently, sir?
I will be moving into that property. I'm currently in the process of moving my things from Volusia County to Seminole. My father is going to be permanently at Harborview of West Altamont, which is a assisted living facility.
I move to accept, I'm going to phrase it like I did last time, to go with the $550.07 for administrative costs in lieu of the lien, and then give them to March 5th, and if he doesn't pay by March 5th, it reverts to the $1,700. Hopefully that was artfully stated, but...
I'll second it.
Motion on the floor by Mr. Ross to reduce the fine amount to administrative cost $550.07. If paid by March 5th of 2025, if not, it will revert back.
Actually, I'm sorry, I meant to say April 5th.
April 5th.
Correct.
And if not, it reverts back to the $1,700 at that time with the lien as well. Ms. Townsend, did you have?
No, I was
Okay.
talking to myself.
Oh, okay.
It was seconded by Mr. Davis.
Second by Mr. Davis, correct, Mr.
Yes,
Davis?
yes,
Thank
second.
you. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's what we've done. Sir, thank you for taking care of that, and good luck.
Oh, he's got another one.
Oh, you sure did, huh? So, yeah. Item number 15, it's case number 24-67, CEB, same respondent. Officer Adair, whenever you're ready.
Code Enforcement Officer Cameron Adair, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, South Region. This is case number 24-67-CEB. The respondent is Edward Serapin and Franquilyn Lowe. Violation is located at 207 Grace Boulevard in Altamont Springs, and the violation charge is Seminole County Code Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in Section 95.3F, stagnant or foul water. This case was originally heard by the Code Enforcement Board on July 25th, 2024, and an order was issued giving the respondents a compliance date of August 8th, 2024. An affidavit of noncompliance was filed by me after reinspection on August 8th, 2024. An affidavit of compliance was filed by me after reinspection on September 13th, 2024. The administrative cost to process this case for the clerk totaled $299.59. My administrative cost total $308.60. Combined, both costs equal $608.19. The recommendation is based on the findings of fact, conclusion, and law and order. The Code Enforcement Board issue an order constituting a lien in the amount of $8,500 for 34 days of noncompliance from August 8th, 2024 through and including September 10th, 2024 at $250 per day, and the fine shall continue to accrue at $250 per day for each day the violation continues or is repeated after December 5th, 2024. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for Officer Adair?
Officer, I don't know if you're the one, who was agreeing to these compliance dates?
No, that would be us.
Well, I mean, who, normally there's a respondent that says, yeah, that date will be good for me. Was there a respondent here for these previously or no?
The respondent was not, no.
Okay.
Any other questions? Sir, that's what we have on the table on this particular violation. It appears to be in compliance now. Recommendations, $8,500 fine, lien that would be applied today, or the admin cost is another option at $608.19 if paid by a certain date. Those are two things that we're considering. It's your opportunity to speak to this.
Okay. I would, excuse me, I would again ask that the lien be waived. The reason that we were in non-compliance for so long is that the water was not running, and therefore there was a problem with the well. And obviously, if you cannot put more water in and get it cleaned out, you can't do anything about it. I have since had someone come out and repair the pump, and it is going to be cleared up. The water has been drained at this point, and all should be taken care of. So I would ask that the lien be waived and merely administrative costs.
I'll make the same motion I did before to reduce it to the administrative costs. I'm not going to try to say the number because I know I'm going to mess that up, but the administrative cost and to give till April 5th to pay it, or it reverts to the $8,500.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Ross, second by Ms. Townsend to reduce the amounts to $608.19 to be paid by April 5th, or reverting back at that point to $8,500. That's the motion on the floor, second by Ms. Townsend.
Just Scribner's clarification, I thought I heard you say March, but I think you meant April?
Yeah, the first time I corrected myself to April, and so I'm being consistent,
Yes.
April 5th, yeah.
Okay, all right. And so
Thank you.
you're, yeah, okay.
Okay, any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's what we've done. Administrative costs on the second one. Thank you. Good luck.
I thank you very much.
Thank you.
So now go back to 13.
Okay. Going to item number 13, which would be case number 24-64 CEB Delroy Clayton and Latoya Myers Clayton. If you're here for that case, please step up to the table. Sir, I'm not sure if you were sworn in. If you were not, please remain standing and raise your right hand for the clerk to swear you in.
Adam Clark, do you want to swear him in?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Thank you. You can have a seat and state your name, please.
My name is Delroy Clayton.
Thank you. Officer Adair, whenever you're ready.
Code Enforcement Officer Cameron Adair, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, South Region. This is case number 24-64-CEB. The respondents are Delroy Clayton and Latoya Myers Clayton. The violation is located at 2643 Sand Lake Road in Longwood, Florida. The violation charge is Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined as Section 95.3B, uncultivated vegetation. This case was originally heard by the Code Enforcement Board on July 25th, 2024, and an order was issued giving the respondent a compliance date of August 8th, 2024. An affidavit of noncompliance was filed by me after reinspection on August 8th, 2024. An affidavit of compliance was filed by me after reinspection on August 15th, 2024. The administrative cost for the clerk totaled $270.72. The administrative cost for me totaled $316.81. Both combined cost equal $587.53. The recommendation is based on the findings of fact, conclusion, law, and order. The Code Enforcement Board issued an order constituting a lien in the amount of $350 for 7 days of noncompliance from August 8th, 2024 through and including August 14th, 2024. At $50 per day, and the fine shall continue to accrue at $50 per day for each day the violation continues or is repeated after December 5th, 2024. This concludes my presentation.
So the lien request is less than the administrative cost?
Correct.
So in all the years I've been doing this,
Yeah, okay, I thought it
I've
was
never
never-
seen anything like that
I was waiting to make
before.
sure somebody else heard about it. That's funny.
Boy.
Interesting.
The board has the ability to come up with
A different solution?
any amount you believe is reasonable, as well as waiving or imposing the fine that has accrued in the lien. So you want to hear from the respondent first, I'm sure.
I have a question of the officer.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any idea right off the bat how many times you had to visit this property?
Since the order, I think about 3 times. Before that, probably 7 to 10. I've been working with Mr. Clayton over here, and he's been coming into compliance for everything.
Is this the property that's basically a lot?
Yes.
On Sand Lake Road?
Yes.
Where we went through, there were vehicles
Yes.
and...
Okay, Mr. Clayton, this is your opportunity to speak to this. We're looking at 2 different possibilities here, and there may be others, but we're looking at a fine of $587.53 as a, would that be the lien? No. Or a lien amount of 300, well, they would, well, we're looking at, the recommendation's a lien amount for $350 for the noncompliance. The admin cost that we're considering, since it is in compliance, is $587.53. So there's different ways to skin this cat, I guess. Do you have a presentation you'd like to make at this time in regards to this matter?
Well, I'll just say we were out of compliance because we got somebody to cut the lawn, but their tractor broke down. That's the only reason why we came out of compliance. And we'd ask to just forego the lien amount.
Mr. Dare, this property is currently in compliance?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'd make the motion to abate the lien and charge the administrative cost of $587.53 with 90 days to pay, which would be March the 5th of '25.
I'll second that.
Would be March the 5th, and did you say, I had 587.53, is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
By March 5th. Okay, and the second was Mr. Ross, Mr. Davis? Okay. Okay, recommendation is to abate the cost, abate the lien, and impose, change the fine amount to $587.53, which represents the administrative costs to be paid by March 5th, 2025, or it reverts to the $350? Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
say,
then there's a lien for $350.
Or then there will be a lien for $350 applied to it. Unusual option, but that's where we're at here.
well, it's not just a lien at 350, it also has other components to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's
It would just be the lien?
supposed to be the lien.
It's in compliance, so it's sort of,
Compliance, so it's a lien.
so that's the motion that's on the table, $587.53 to be paid by March 5th, or a lien to be imposed on that date, amount of $350.
Mr. Davis was the second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. By Ms. Townsend, second by Ms. Davis. Mr. Davis, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That's what we've done, sir. You've got until March 5th of next year to pay $587.53, or there'll be a lien applied in the amount of $350. Thank you for taking care of it. Thank you for coming in.
All right, so Mr. Chairman, you have 4 matters left, starting on page 11. You have item 16, item 17 on page 12, and then same respondent on items page 13 and 14, items 18 and 19. In each of these cases, an affidavit of noncompliance was filed by the inspector, and in each of these cases, the respondents were properly noticed, and there's no one in chambers. So you could, everyone take a moment and look at each of these 4 items to see what is being presented, and you can do a consent agenda where you basically approve or reject all of them at the same time, or if you wanted to pull one or so out and listen to those, but because
Take a look at these real quick. If you see anything you want to pull out for discussion, we can do so. The officers are here, obviously. And then if not, we'll hear them as a consent agenda matter.
then you can do one motion approving all 4, or one motion
So it would just be these
Deny,
down.
yep, it was
Okay,
just, yep.
Read them into the record and then do the as consent.
Yep, you can just read them all 4. If you're not pulling anything off the agenda,
Right.
go ahead and read all 4 into the record, and then
Okay.
just do one motion.
Yeah, so we would be looking at these as the recommendations are in the agenda. That's what we would be looking at approving. Don't have to. We can pull off any ones you want or discuss them. So sort of take a quick look at that.
Well, I already read them all, so I'll move to accept them all 4 of them as recommended.
I second that.
Motion by Mr. Ross. Let me read these into the record. We're discussing item numbers 16, 17, 18, 19. That'll be case number 24-68 CEB, Carmen Colon and Damie Colon / Wells Fargo Bank Lispendence. Case number 24-76 CEB, Agnes Mui Chia. Item number 18 is case number 24-77 CEB, Clemmy T. Lockett. Item number 19, case number 24-78 CEB, Clemmy T. Lockett. Those 4 items we are considering as a consent agenda matter. Who made the motion? Mr. Ross made the motion, second by Ms. Townsend, to accept staff's recommendation as presented in our agendas for each of those items. Any discussion? Anything need to be pulled by anybody? We all good to vote? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Those were all passed. Let me find where we're at here. I think
You're on page 15, the last page of the agenda.
okay.
Approval of the minutes.
I have a motion to, and which minutes were these, Alexis? I'm sorry.
August 22nd, 2024.
I'd also like it on the record with the meeting dates for the 2025, that yes, in fact, on the weeks that there is a 5th Monday or Tuesday, we are meeting on that Thursday. Thank you to staff for that. I'm appreciative.
Okay.
All right, so you need to do the minutes first. Was there a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second by someone?
Second?
Okay.
Motion by Ms. Townsend, second by Mr. Simon, approve the minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The next meeting date, January 23rd. If there's no issues here, if you have an issue that arises, let Alexis know. Did we look at these? No.
Yeah, so take these back to your homes or offices and make sure if you know of a conflict already, let the clerk know. And we'll need to make sure we get this to Mr. Bates, since he's the only one who's not here.
Check the June date. They usually have something going on in June, as I recall. Yeah. And anything else for the good of the order? Am I missing anything else?
Nope, this is it. So we'll see
Can we make a
everyone back
motion
in
to make it
20.
warmer in here next time?
Ms. Townsend agrees.
Nay. Let's make a motion
Yes, you may.
make a motion to see Don Peterson more often.
It is nice to see Mr. Peterson. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Don.
Come back, man.
Okay.
All right,
Happy
I'll
holidays.
make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
motion, who seconded? Mr. Simon seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
David was going to say nay, but he decided it's time to go home.